We have on the line Deputy Speaker Congressman Jay-jay Suarez. Congressman Suarez, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Can you hear me okay?
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Congressman, yun nga, we're still talking about the quote-unquote security breach by the Vice President overnight. What is the latest at this point? Is she still in the premises? And do we have any indication whether she's staying overnight again today?
Well, as of now, she's still in the house premises because visiting hours will be until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're hoping that she can comply with the house rules, and then at 5 o'clock, maybe she can vacate the house premises. Because based on our rules, ang pagbibisita sa mga nakadetained na mga persons ay hanggang alas 5 lang po ng hapon.
Our reporter said that she's planning to stay until the next hearing on November 25. Ano pong plano natin kung sakasakaling hindi talaga siya umalis hanggang yung araw na yun?
Kanina nga po, nag-issue na ng statement yung Sergeant at Arms namin, and the chairman of the Committee on Good Government also had a press call. I think it would be to the best advantage of everybody that we abide by the rules of the House. The House has already set protocols when it comes to visiting hours. So, of course, we're nakikiusap tayo sa Vice Presidente na sana naman sumunod siya sa alituntunin ng mababang kapulungan.
Pero
Congressman, wala
Congressman,
bang exemption yung Vice President? Kasi we remember that she also refused to take her oath nung humarap siya dun sa Committee on Good Government. Baka yan ang hinahanap nila. Is the House willing to grant that to the Vice President?
Yeah, can you say that again? Sorry, I lost you for a while.
Wala po bang exemption yung Vice President? Kasi ang nakukuha namin balita ngayon, she's planning to do this every day. And sinasabi nga nung kapatid niya, nandun lang man sa opisina ko eh. So ang tinatanong ng mga tao, exempted ba sa rules ng Congress yung Vice President of the Philippines? Kasi natatandaan din namin na she also refused to take her oath nung nag-testify siya before the Committee on Good Government. Ngayon, ma-exempt ba siya sa rules nyo sa visiting hours?
No. No one is exempted from the rules. Everybody will be treated the same. In fact, last night, we bent over and back just so that we can afford her the courtesy and extend her visiting hours way past that which was allowed. So sana naman ngayon, maintindihan po ng Vice Presidente na medyo nahihirapan na rin po yung personnel ng House because of the security concern that her presence may pose. I mean, while she is in the premises of the House, it is understood that her safety is under our care. So, just so that we can avoid any untoward incident, and she doesn't need to be there. Seriously, my position is she doesn't need to be there because ang position naman po ng chairman at saka ng mga members ng committee, she's free to visit Atty. Lopez every day. Kaso lang, wag naman po sana ilagay sa alanganin yung ibang mga nagtatrabaho sa Kongreso, especially mga empleyado at security personnel.
Congressman, anong possible recourse nyo kung hindi susunod sa inyong pakiusap si Vice President? Dahil mukhang yung kanyang inclination ay wag sumunod eh. Dahil parang yun yung kanyang conduct. Mukhang this is also a political statement na I'm not subject to your rules. Katulad nung refusal na nabanggit nga ni Ami to take the oath nung last time na dumalo siya dyan. So kung hindi niya gagawin yan, hindi siya kusang aalis dun sa or mag-a-abide sa rules nyo, anong possible recourse nyo?
Well, of course, it will be against any logical mind to physically bring her out of the House premises. That's why nakikiusap nga tayo sa kanya na kung maaari, sumunod sa alituntunin at sa kasampatakaran ng House pagdating sa pagbisita sa mga nakadetain na personnel. But you know what, you have to understand also, Ronald, na just because she's the Vice President, that does not exempt her from following the rules.
Definitely.
And speaking
Diba?
of...
So,
oo.
and you know what, and if you think about it, if she can go to the House and stay there overnight, why can't she go to a committee on good government and present herself and take her oath and explain the use of the confidential funds, di ba?
That's what I was wondering,
Yun
nga,
nga po
Congressman. While she's there, since she's already in the premises, did any one of you guys, hindi yung Sergeant at Arms, go to her and try to, reason with her? I mean, since she's already there.
Actually, yes, excellent point. Earlier today, the Sergeant at Arms spoke to her security officer, and I know he also spoke to the Vice President herself, and tried to reason with her, with regards to the situation. So I'm hoping that she can see the bigger picture and follow at saka sumunod dito po sa rules ng Kongreso pagdating sa pagbisita.
Congressman, is it in the cards to cite her in contempt at least, as a final option? Napag-uusapan po ba yan?
Well, no naman kasi we can only cite her in contempt pag nasa committee hearing kami. So wala naman po kami sa committee hearing. So I think siguro kung pwede lang talaga makiusap tayo sa reasonableng pag-iisip ng tao na sumunod na lang because lahat naman ng mga nade-detain sa detention facility ng House, all their visitors follow the same rules. So what we don't understand is how come the second highest officer in the land can't follow the same rules that everybody has to abide by, regardless of who you are.
Tingin ko, Congressman, ay nakikita niya yung bigger picture. No? Nilalagay nila kayo sa spot na damn if you do, damn if you don't.
You have to make a decision.
Di naman siya pwedeng kalad ka rin palabas. At the same time, no, kung mananatili siya dyan, parang pinapakita niya, she's above your rules. So, tingin ko yung bigger picture ay malinaw sa kanya. Merong level ng political calculation sa move na ito. Sabi nyo nga, yung pinakamagandang gawin ay humarap na lang sa hearing at sagutin yung lahat ng mga tanong. Diba? Pero hindi niya ginagawa yon dahil nga may iba siyang version of the bigger picture.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that version of the bigger picture is not to the best advantage of the Filipino people. Yun yung nakakalungkot doon, Ronald.
Yeah.
Kasi kung titingnan talaga natin yung bigger picture of things, I mean, is it so difficult to follow the rules? We all abide by principles, rules, and laws in the country. So she shouldn't be exempt from that. She knows that. She took her oath as the Vice President.
I think the Dutertes have a different rule.
Kung may balak na gawin si Speaker, he is the head of the House, and that is the Vice President. Hindi ba dapat mag-usap na lang yung dalawang matataas na opisyal ng bayan para matapos na yung problema? Or are there any instructions, specific instructions from the Speaker sa inyo on how you might handle this issue?
Well, we have not spoken to Speaker about it, but I think knowing the Speaker, simple lang naman mag-isip ang ating leader ng Kongreso. Kung ano ang nasa batas, ipatupad. Yun lang yun.
Yun nga lang.
That's the black and white of things.
Wala daw
So,
kung
ngayon,
penalties. Yung breach of rules. Ang sabi ng aming reporter.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, but just because there's no penalties, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't follow them, di ba? So I think, for the Filipino people, I think we're starting to see the image of a public official that we should not really look up to. Kasi nakakahiya talaga di ba?
With regards to the detained Chief of Staff, Congressman, si Attorney Zuleika Lopez, of course she was detained because of undue interference. After the last hearing, were you able to get anything more out of her? I gathered from the hearing na hindi kayo masyado naniniwala to what she was saying, na she doesn't have any direct knowledge of how the confidential funds were spent.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, she cannot deny that she has no knowledge because she wrote 2 letters to the Commission on Audit. Number 1, addressed AOMs that the Commission on Audit saw in their audit of the utilization of the confidential funds. And the second letter, she was requesting COA not to share those documents and those observations to Congress when Congress was conducting their inquiry on this. So how can somebody write to COA and say at the same breath that they have no knowledge about the utilization of the confidential fund? It doesn't make sense. So ito rin po yung naging dahilan, isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit siya na-cite in contempt.
It's not believable that she could have just been an administrative part of it. Like, yes, she signed it, pero hindi naman niya talaga, baka nautusan lang. Is that? Yeah.
Yeah, but when you address a letter to COA explaining the utilization of confidential funds, therefore you know the substance and you know what the letter is all about. So, and she's a lawyer.
She's a chief of
Diba?
staff. She's not an ordinary
She's the chief of
staff.
But she was saying that
Yeah,
they're all
so-
very compartmentalized and that, somebody else handled it, the dispersing officer, and she merely signs off on things, is her alibi.
Chief of staff is the
Yeah,
linchpin of the office.
Well, she's definitely that's an alibi, but unfortunately, it's quite hard to believe.
Congressman, may balita po ba tayo kay Lemuel, Ortonio, Gina Acosta, Sunshine, and Edward Fajarda, yung apat cited in contempt?
Na nasa various
Yeah, so-
places daw.
Oh. Conducting the celebrations
The 89th
month-long.
anniversary.
Sorry, Ronald.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another question. No? Imagine the reason why they couldn't come is because they have a month-long celebration. So their celebration started on November 15. So expected natin matatapos to ng December 15. However, the Vice President can stay in the House premises for 2 days and not celebrate with the rest of her staff. It doesn't make sense. So now, with regards to Gina Acosta and Fajarda spouses, patuloy po silang hinahanap ng PNP, and we're hoping over the weekend mahanap na po sila para matapos na rin po natin yung hearing natin sa Committee ng Good Government.
Si Mary Grace Piatos, nahanap na po ba natin?
Favorite ni
Actually,
Gretchen yan.
meron po kaming 1 million pesos reward kung
Yes.
sino man makakapagpakilala sa
Oo
amin.
nga eh.
Wala pa rin
Mary
po,
Grace
wala pa rin
Piatos.
po.
Pero may
Wala
ganung
pa
tao
rin
ba talaga?
humaharap eh.
Oo.
May ganung tao ba talaga?
Ayun nga ang tanong. Oo.
Wala, nobody has come forward with any
Sa labas
information.
ng house, meron bang civilian gathering doon outside? Kasi usually kapag nagaganyan yung mga Duterte family, meron silang mga suporta eh. May mga supporters na they show up, nag-ano ng mga sympathy rally o show of support. Meron na bang nagfo-form outside the House of Representatives?
Sa kasalukuyan wala pa, and that's precisely what we want to avoid. It does not. This situation does not require any untoward incident on any side, on any group, or in any organization.
Congressman?
So sana naman hindi samantalahin to ng mga maka-Duterte or ni Vice President, because she can just simply follow the rules, and I don't know why it has to be very difficult.
Congressman, were you surprised by this incident? Dahil nakita naman natin dun sa Senate hearing, sa congressional hearing, with Sara and with his father, they operate by a different set of rules eh. No?
Yes.
Nagtataob sila ng lamesa eh. They're very disruptive, no? So, nasurpresa ba kayo sa ganitong klaseng kondukta nila?
Hindi naman, nakakagulat lang kasi syempre yung iba namang nating mga nagiging panawin sa House, hindi naman ganito umasta. Sumusunod naman po sila sa mga batas at patakaran. So medyo nakakagulat lang na may mga ganitong individual na hindi handang sumunod sa mga patakaran.
Okay. We're gonna have to leave that there.